It seems like it's been a while since I've been here and I've been entirely hibernating. I do apologise. So, and it's Imbolc. I've still got dark circles under my eyes. I'm not quite awake yet, but it is time to shake off the stagnant chi because it is Imbolc and all the frost is here to shake us up and to make us know we are alive. So yeah, I'll come out and have a look at the world because it's been so long. So as you know, Imbolc occurs in the northern hemisphere. That's crap. I don't think this was a good idea. So as you know, Imbolc occurs in the northern hemisphere around the beginning of February, and it's a time of new growth. We get some snowdrops up, we get some small flowers, some buds arriving, and the lambs of course are being born, and it's a sign of emerging life. The thing about the snowdrops being up is that they're not always up, and I think this has a lot to do with the change of calendar. So to me, Imbolc, it can be any time within the first 2 weeks of February, because the calendars are sort of 15 days moved further on from where they used to be. So if you wanted to celebrate on the full moon, I think that would be perfectly fine. That's my own slant on it. I think sometimes the moment when you see the first snowdrop is actually Imbolc. That's it. Or a lamb. Or anything, a flower. That's it. Life has emerged. And of course it's lovely at the moment because it's just always this time you hit the last frost that comes and breaks up the soil and makes the earth fertile again. So really it's quite lovely. time of Imbolc is dedicated to Bridget, and as we know, Bridget has many faces. She has a dark aspect and a light aspect, but generally she's also known in Christianity as a matronly figure. She was taken over by the Saint Brigid or Brigid, especially in Ireland, and here she became known as the foster mother of Christ. So there is something about her that's very matronly, and in this aspect she's linked to the German goddess Berchta or Perchta, and Perchta's symbol is web-footed birds, so things like swans and geese, especially geese, where she's supposed to have one goose foot or one swan foot, and in Germany she's known by many cute names, such as Poor Pudelfrau. So this is a lovely aspect of this time of year, and that to me is Mother Goose. And as I've just gone along to the farm just to have a little look around, I see at this time of year it's a time when the geese are let out into the fields again. And so it's a re-emerging of that matronly gaggle, that sort of clucky mother energy. It's birds springing, waking up, having survived the winter, planning for spring, making nests, mating. That comes a little later, but it's like the world is awakening up, that sort of clucky mother energy. So Bridget is a triple-faced goddess, and it means she is a goddess of creation, a creatrix. She is three Bridgets, in fact, and she's the patron of three crafts. And so she has sort of many sides to her, many skills. She's the great goddess of creativity and of birth and of life and of the earth herself. So she's associated with farming, and this time of year is the time that the farms begin to wake up, the animals begin to be released, let out of their pens if the weather's fine enough. It's a time when people start to think about planting their seeds, getting ready for the agricultural year. And so in many ways Bridget's associated quite a lot with agriculture. And it's not just a time of lambing. Brigid is in fact associated with cows and with nurturing milk. So it's not just sort of a time of year of lambing, but of milk flowing and of the goodness of the goddess returning. In many ways, Imbolc is associated with the colour white, and with the birth of new beginnings. In many ways, Bridget reminds me of the great white goddess in the Mabinogi, the deer goddess, Olwen, who is the white one. I think as she returns, her footsteps bring fertility back to the land, and so in many ways she is the young child, the virgin, bringing back life. So this is the very last bit of my sloe gin I made for Christmas, and I thought I'd put the last bit down for the hearth god, for the little house spirit, just to thank the fire for having given me a bit of warmth over this very cold winter. But look, it's so dirty. The sun is out and you can see all the dust. So yeah, this is the thing about Imbolc. It is time for a spring clean. It's time for waking and shaking up the energy. And of course, Imbolc is a fire festival. It celebrates the heat and the power of spirit. It's very young. It's a sun festival. It's part of the solar year. It's often associated with Bridget at the hearth. You can put a little doll of Bridget on your hearth at the eve of Imbolc and offer her a bed for the night, and you can make a little bed there, make it as realistic and as warm and as snug as you can possibly make it, and then you can offer it to your, well, they were called bridey dolls, Brigid dolls, and Brigid. I'll check that one. And yes, the little dolls of Bridget, and you can keep these dolls afterwards. I think they bring luck into your home. They're quite good for guarding your hearth, guarding your door. So that's a nice little idea. So just thanking the hearth spirit and the spirit of fire. So this time of Imbolc and the need to spring clean, it's a really good opportunity to do a bit of a house blessing. And I think generally when you look at the symbolism, you bless your candles for the year, you bless your hearth, you clean out your hearth, you offer a bed for the goddess by your hearth, you get rid of the clutter, and you bring in a Bridget's cross. And I'm going to go and make myself another Bridget's cross because I had one last year, and it got a bit tatty and fell apart over the winter, so I've thrown it out. But I really miss it, having it around. It's got a nice little energy, so it's time to get a Bridget's cross and put it somewhere in my house. Maybe over a door for a change, or up on the ceiling somewhere. But it doesn't really matter what a Bridget's cross is made out of. It's really the symbolism. It's almost, I hate to say it, it's the swastika type of symbolism that is ancient. It really is ancient, and I don't think we fully understand it. But it's very protective, and I think it is a blessing for my home to have this protective symbol up somewhere. So it is early morning, which is about 10 o'clock for me. It's been beautiful and foggy and frosty this morning, and I'm going to nip out and trespass over the golf course there, and I'm just going to go and find some reeds to make a Bridget's cross with. So let's go. clear day. But actually it's not clear. And it's not supposed to be very sunny. If it's not sunny at Imbolc, this is a good sign. And if you can't see your shadow, then the summer is now here. And to be honest, although it's bright, I can't see my shadow. I like this sign. Absolutely lovely. So look, this is where the reeds are, but they're frozen. Still, there they are, a green thing beginning to grow. So I'm going to gather some of these. Oh, one at a time. Oh, you shy? Want to be? Well, I'm back in the warm, but not for long because it seems just wrong to be inside now after so many months being in there. So I've got one last mission of the day, and that is to go and visit a sacred spring. Springs are quite sacred to Bridget, so she's associated with healing water and with wells and with sacred springs. Oh, look at this cat. Oh, look at this cat. You come in the shot. Right? Come into the shot, Chico. You. It's good for you. It's bad for me. Bad for me. Yeah, so as part of a house blessing, I thought I'd go and get some spring water from a local spring that I know. There aren't many springs left where you can just go and gather water, sadly. But I suppose if you can't get spring water, you can buy it in a bottle. And I hear that it's better in a glass bottle because plastic has some strange property that kills the spirit of water, but glass doesn't. So spring water in a glass bottle still has the spirit of the spring. But I'm lucky because I've got one, well, a few miles away. And I'll go and gather up a little bit of spring water. And I think I'm going to use that to just sprinkle it around my home to clear the air. Just sprinkling water into the air is a great way of smudging without the smoke. So I'm going to use some spring water, and I'm going to leave an offering because it's a great time to leave an offering out for the spirits, just to thank them and And as an added bonus to sort of give something to the birds as well, because the birds are out there being very hungry, and we're all watching them now. You're watching them, aren't you? Yeah. And they're coming to feed, and they're really hungry in this cold weather. So as a gift for gathering the spring water, I think I'll take some bird seed and leave it by the spring. Yeah. Some Jack. Oh, it's a babe. It's a handsome babe. Look. Mm. Yeah, that's cute. It's a handsome cat. Going to spring clean everything, and this includes all the rooms that I never go in and all the rooms that are junk, and especially throwing this water in the dark corners, and that's cobwebs. I can see cobwebs now. So don't forget all the neglected areas like the dark corners and the room of junk and the pantry and upstairs, everywhere like that. So I'm going to go around the house and clean it a bit and then spray some water on it. Then I'm going to put a candle mass little altar here, which means I'm going to put some candles to make sure that fire is a big element of this. Obviously, if you don't want to use water around your home, you can use other methods of clearing, such as ringing bells, or having some chimes in your house, or a Tibetan bowl, or maybe you can just play music to clear the atmosphere. It's a good idea to open the windows, let in some fresh air. And just if you have a broom to chase out any bad energy along with the dust. You can see this symbolically as a new beginning, a chance to start all over again with fresh plans and fresh ideas. To decorate an altar, you can use all sorts of symbols. Fresh flowers, green ungrowing things like plants. You can use goddess symbols, or even a symbol or card to represent Bridget. I'm using candles as a large part of my altar, as it's definitely bringing back the element of fire and sunlight. And it's very traditional to light a candle for Imbolc. Here I'm also going to place a glass of milk and a glass of spring water, and these are both to connect me to the goddess of Bridget herself.